What up? You're in with me in my grandma's house. I'm traveling to UCLA this week to get some tests done for my body. Brain damage from this weapon. As you all know me, I'm ObamasWeapon.com guy. I understand that my videos really fucking suck because how much brain injury I have. I'm never really organized and all that, and I can't get to the information in my brain is not being stored. Can't be accessed as I need it to kind of put out there in the video. So, but here's what I wanted to say. I finally realized more insight about this weapon and what it was. When you have no ability to turn the sensations to your nerves off, and this is all remote nerve stimulation. Voice to skull is a nerve stimulation technique for your nerves or your ears. Converted the nerve signals, transferred the sound with the brain interprets the sound, right? And then when they're jamming your body, your genitals up, or they're broadcasting signals in your brain, images and whatnot, or they're doing something, it simulates schizophrenia. That's what they're doing. You can't turn the signals off. And same thing as schizophrenia, really. I realized that was the point of the weapon. That's the point. Is built into their radar and their satellites. I've covered that. So, if I lay here and I can't turn this off, they want me to feel like I'm schizophrenic. That's whoever, that's every single person out there. That's the purpose of their goddamn weapon system. And there's thousands of targets, so it's not no testing phase. This is, you are schizophrenic now. The government has made you schizophrenic. And there's legit people out there who don't even realize it. And it's happening to them. And the government flipped the switch and said, alright, this person's now going to develop schizophrenia. Or whatever disorder they're simulating. Maybe they just want to nudge a person down another path. There's mind control techniques too. They do that. Maybe they just want to manipulate someone to control them. That's another thing. But when I can't turn off one of my nerves sending a signal into my brain, that's schizophrenia, but it's a goddamn weapon doing it. And so they're truly, my brain has had schizophrenic simulation done to it. That's a trauma that nothing can undo for five years. And I've been tortured my entire adulthood since age 18. It all happened because the state of Oregon has this crappy system in Oregon to send people up to the state hospital where forced psychiatric abuses happened when I didn't even need treatment. So I was kidnapped from my life and then forced into their system so they could make money off of me and use me for experiments up at the state hospital in Oregon. And that's how I got targeted with this weapon. And I'm just guessing that this happened to many people. Most people have no way of even knowing if it's happening to them. And so, is schizophrenia a true condition or is it a government-made condition? There's a lot of people who say it's a government-made. And there's a variety of methods how it's controlled by the government. Whether you develop it naturally from abuse and trauma in childhood and you have the symptoms as an adult, or that damages your brain development when you're a kid, when you're abused, so you get older and you fucking, of course there's no treatments or any social services to help a person the whole damn time, so you end up getting it when you're an adult. And that's government deliberately depriving people so they get it. Corporations keeping the system from working for the individual, right? But then government could come in and flip a switch in their TAMI, thought amplifying mind interface system, and boom, their radar systems, boom, you're permanently flagged by the government for schizophrenic simulation. And that's the other method you get it. I'm telling you, how do we even know how many people with schizophrenia aren't being targeted with this? What if every single one of them was the government doing it? Because the rates of mental illness have risen quite considerably since, if you track it, since especially the 80s. And some people tied it to medications, invention. There's another thing. There's the technology of the government that you could tie it to. The millions and millions of times an increase in electromagnetic radiation in the environment. It's another thing you could tie it to. It's tied to all. It's all equally. Here's what I don't think anyone's put numbers on how many targets have been actually turned on to schizophrenia, like the government just flipped the switch on them, but the numbers are staggering. People who are often labeled as paranoid or delusional are the ones at risk for this. And so, generally, the zombies of the American government, that's the public, they're going to hear these stories and claim that that person is delusional, paranoid. That's how they get rid of the person, and that's how they keep people from listening to them. And that's the whole purpose of their mind control weapon. And also, a weapon of information exists where information, of course, is limited to the public. You're taught misinformation in school. You're kept an idiot retard in school on purpose. And I'm telling you that that's the lack of information on science is really, and how particle physics works and technology, that they limit the access to the most sensitive information, and they only tell you a general idea of how electricity and different things work. For example, you learn simple things and not the complex reality of it, which explains life. You know, they don't tell you. They don't want you to know. It's only for people who work for a corporation or government to know, because it's all licensed, NDA, classified fucking shit just for them, the rich people and the government people, to use to weaponize, control society. Fucking crazy. But there's somewhere a database where I think that there's this huge database of people in the whatever system of the government. There's a lot of people who got schizophrenia because the government made it in them, or they used the weapon to simulate the effects of it. Whoever had this done to them, though, whatever method was chosen, has a very damaged brain. That's all I know. My brain's fucking fucked up. And they can hurt my brain too on purpose, beating it in with floods of waves and radiation. Boom, boom. Your brain is swelling and constricting. You're fucking massaging your brain tissue. It's not supposed to be massaged. Stupid shit.